Welcome everyone. So if you are in a gambling industry, in iGaming industry, then you have to face one real fact. You are in a high risk business from payment system provider's perspective. So what does it mean that you are in a high risk business? Well, practically speaking, this means that you cannot accept PayPal, you cannot accept Stripe, so none of these companies will work with you. So these giants, they say no to any high risk business, and if you don't trust me, you can go ahead and try. Your accounts will be blocked and you will face, well, the fact that you cannot even receive money that you have with their accounts. So I had this with retail business, I had this with many risky high risk businesses overall, right? So gambling business is a high risk business, it is perceived as a high risk business, and you have to face it and to know how to work your ways around. So the first thing, if you cannot accept PayPal, if you cannot accept Stripe, what is available out there? So the answer is everything else. Now, there is no list of such payment system providers. That's why it's so difficult to find anything good on Google, because such list is always evolving. Small companies become big companies, they ask different paperwork. Terms of such companies evolve as well. So something that works today will not work like 2 months from now. So I had this case with a client of mine. She was applying for the license, and then she asked me, listen, what we can connect to accept payments from one specific country in Asia, not going to mention the country because of specifics of the business. So I sent her a list, and she made a choice. So she said, well, listen, we want this payment system provider, a particular one. So that was fine at the moment. So she didn't generate any revenue, she didn't have any GGRs. So by the time when she actually got her license, when she got her banking accounts, the difference was that this company, it evolved, and she didn't accept startups anymore. It didn't accept new clients who do not generate any GGRs. So now the game to play is to have 100,000 GGR, and then you are fine to qualify for that payment system provider. So as I say, this list is continuously evolving because new players come into the game, because old players, they change some rules, and because the industry is evolving as well. So for example, monsters like, for example, Skrill, yeah, you can find them on many gambling sites, but it's not that easy to connect them because they will ask you so many paperwork. They have such strict compliance. They will ask you to have specific companies in specific states. They will ask you if you have office there. They will ask you for employment agreement to prove that you are a physical business, that you are exactly what you say, that you have employees you pay salaries to, and that you have some financial performance where you generate like 100,000 and more in order to work with them. So is it sufficient enough? Is it good enough for any startup? Of course no. So there are multiple solutions for multiple countries that would work in your case. And as I said, there is no such list. You have to reach out, and if you have like questions, well, listen, I want a specific list for the Latin market or a specific list for Asian countries, then feel free to go below this video and to check the form and to send your request, the inquiry. Someone will respond to you with all the quotes that you have to know, or simply send us a message. So we will help you out. Now, how can you connect them, right? So as soon as you know what you need, that there are some payment system providers that you can work with, how to reach out to them. So there are two ways to reach out to them. So A is you have to buy a ticket, you have to go to some event, and you have to meet them in person, and you have to speak to them, and then you have to sign agreement, and you are good to go. Or another solution is that you actually find companies that deal with payment system providers, like for example, license providers or platform providers, like white label platform providers. They do know all this market because the business depends on this knowledge. And then you can go and you can buy the service and you will get the best thing that works today because they have practice. And in my opinion, the second one is always better because salespeople, if you do reach out directly to some payment system providers, you may actually lose time because people will try to serve you, to make their own money, to make their own living. But in the end, sometimes you end up spending so much time because you believe that person, and it led you nowhere, right? So you have to be really objective. You have to look facts in the eyes, and you have to understand whether or not this is realistic of what they are talking about, whether or not it is possible to achieve such result if you do not generate any GGR, if you don't have any experience, and so on and so forth, because this is tricky. Payment system providers, they know this market better than anyone else. There is a reason why they do not accept high-risk businesses, because obviously they are responsible for every transaction. So businesses that do work with high-risk businesses, that do work with startups, they take certain risks. So you have to acknowledge that risks, and you have to think whether or not this is actually realistic, that, you will be able to connect, for example, Skrill or any other major payment system provider. Now, let's say you want to connect those. What kind of paperwork do you need, right? So, for example, you've chosen that you want to accept Visa, you want to accept certain payment system providers for Latin market or Asian market, Middle East, wherever. Like, what involves, how difficult the compliance is. And it is difficult, but by the time when you are ready to connect payment system providers, you will have all the paperwork with us. So as we will help you with the license, and you will go through some KYC and compliance, we will help you with incorporation and the bank. By the end, when you are ready to connect payment system providers, we already have all the paperwork, at least 95% of that. So the connection itself is simultaneous and it's not that difficult. But if you already have a license and you need payment system providers, or you use someone else to get your license, then of course all this paperwork will be required. So major things like from KYC, like proof of address and bank statements and so on and so forth, also applies for payment system providers. And as soon as we have all that, usually today, norm in the business is that it takes on average 4 weeks to connect payment system providers. So it's not fast. Your process should look this way. You apply for the license, you incorporate, you get yourself the license, then you connect billing agent companies if you deal with certain licenses, then you apply for a banking account, and only then you apply for payment system providers. So you do not ask what works with payment system providers today, at least you do not ask with a fixed mindset. You have to understand that things may change. And then by the end of this entire process, you recheck the list again, you understand percentages, you understand terms, and you roll with it, and you start making money. Another thing you may know already, you working with high-risk payment system providers, is that they do not publish fees that they charge for services, because such fees also change. It's a matter of, how you evolve through the business. So the more you make, the less you pay. This is the name of the game. And if you want to check, okay, what would you pay? What you can pay? What would you be paying in, for example, Asia? You have to reach out and check with every payment system provider, because some of them they have rolling fees, some of them have setup fees, but many of them not. And it really depends on the market that you are in. And also, it depends on the payment system provider specifically. The biggest mistake I see is that people overestimate how fast, how soon they connect payment system providers. So they believe, okay, it will take me some time to get the license, which is true, but they think that payment system provider is something they can connect like that. Like that would be PayPal. Even PayPal is not that easy anymore. So they prepare everything, they get, their labor force in place and all the ducks in the row, and then they prepare the platform, and then they have the license, and they forget about payment system provider. Like that would be something that is connected on demand. So that's the most important part of your business. That's actually the blood flow of your business, the cash flow. You cannot build your business without healthy cash flow. At least I did not know of such methodology. So if that's so important, you have to respect the fact that payment system providers have their own compliance, and it will take a couple of weeks to get you there. So as you get the license, as you get your billing agent company, as you get the banking account, also simultaneously go and take payment system provider. Do not waste your time. There you go. This is everything you have to know regarding payment system providers in the gaming business. If you want to connect payment system providers to your casino, if you want to connect payment system providers to your sportsbook, there is no other way. I know one. This is crypto, but why would you leave money on your table if you can allow your people, your clients, to also use fiat? Why not, right? So it takes time, but it is definitely worth it. At least 7 clients out of 10 I'm speaking to, they still connect fiat. And well, this is the smartest way and the smartest move you can make. By the way, you can download the file with payment system providers on different regions just below this video. This file is completely free, but if you want some specifics, if you want to know the percentages, and if you want to know the terms, then reach out to us and we'll provide you these terms on specific countries that you have in mind. So thank you for watching this video and see you soon. Goodbye.